Welcome back. So today I am going to try to go through the first three tasks that I handed out. The first one was use the circle, rectangle, and line tools and extrude the objects. The second one was a single Lego piece. And the third one was two more Legos. So I'm going to start out by creating a sketch. We'll go here, create sketch. I'm going to select this right here for my plane, zoom in. So in general, I just wanted a rectangle, a circle, and here's the line tool, some kind of shape using the line tool like that. And I can't see it as clearly on this computer as I can on some, but the center space inside of your closed profiles should be highlighted a different color from this. So on this screen for me it's slightly light blue, and I'm going to finish the sketch. Now I will use the extrude tool. I will go to my home view, click on the rectangle, click on the circle, and click on the diamond looking shape. Grab my arrow, raise it up, change it from body to component, because that's a good habit to get into for the stuff I'll be showing you. There, now we have our three objects. Let's select the fillet tool first. I'll grab it from here. I'll pick this top edge and grab the circle or the arrow to make it bigger or smaller. There we go. Now I will use the shell tool. Come down here. I will click on the top. I'll grab the arrow, do that with it, say OK. And finally, creating a sketch on another surface is a very useful tool. See out here, it's selecting our main origin axes, but if I come here, I can highlight that. I'll do a circle and a square on this. There we go. Finish sketch. I'll use my extrude tool again, or I can come in here, use the extrude tool, I'll click on that, and I'm going to come down to make a hole all the way through. See how operation says cut? There we go. So, voila, that is the first task that I gave people to accomplish. The second one was the 1x1 Lego. I'm going to select this plane, so I'm looking down again, make a rectangle. Now I'm going to come down, do my sketch dimension tool, grab a side, go up, press 8, hit enter. And I'm going to do that again. Grab the side, go over, press 8, and enter. There's my square that I need. Now the extrude tool again, there, extrude. I'm going to press 8 on my keyboard to make this 8 millimeters tall. Change it to a new component, say OK. And again, I'm going to create another sketch. This time on top of this cube that I just created. There we go. I'll zoom in a little, make it easier. Now I'm using the circle tool. Click, drag, drop. Now I need to dimension, and then use dimensions to place it. So I selected my dimension tool. I clicked on the edge of my circle, came out. This needs to be 4.8 if I remember correctly. And now I'm going to move it to where I want. So I'm hovering over my circle edge again. I will click here. Now I'm going to come down and get the edge of my component to highlight. And once I click both of those, I can move my mouse over. And it needs to be 4 millimeters, so it's centered in that direction. Now I'm selecting my circle with the dimension tool still selected. That side, come up, and 4 millimeters, enter. I'm going to finish this sketch. Look at it from my home view again, and use the extrude tool. Here we go. I click right there. 1.6 is the height that I'm looking for. My operation is set to join, and OK. Now for the final step, I look at the bottom. What I'm doing is I'm holding down Shift, then I'm pushing the mouse wheel that's in the center of the mouse as if it's a button. So hold down Shift, press it like a button, and then you can orbit like this. And come back to modify, the shell command, click the bottom, 1.6 millimeters for the wall thickness. That is the second task completed. And now we'll go on to the third. I'm going to create another sketch. I will put it on this plane again, so I'm looking down, see the top view right there, or the top written on the view cube. And for this one, I will do both of my rectangles at the same time. So I made 2 rectangles. Now I'm going to create a sketch. This one will be 16 by 8 millimeters. And then this one will be 16 by 16 millimeters. Okay, now I'm finishing this sketch. I will extrude these one at a time though, but I'll do the sketches at the same time. Alright, I come over here, select the extrude tool. I will pick this one first. Height is 9.6. Change operation from new body to new component. Say OK. Now, as you saw, this square disappeared. In order to get it to show back up, right here's my sketches folder. Come to the left for this arrow, drop it down, and I will turn that sketch back on with the eyeball symbol. Alright, again, select the extrude, click here, do 9.6, change operation from new body to new component, say OK. I now need another sketch, and it needs to be on the top of these. Ooh, wonder if I got the height wrong on that one. Either way, we'll do sketch here, come over. Now we're going to make 1 circle on this one, and 1 circle on this one. Use our sketch dimension tool to make these 4.8. Enter, and do the same for this one, 4.8. Enter, and now hover over the edge of my circle, click that. Hover over the edge of my rectangle, click that, come over, 4 millimeters. And you can do the same thing again with the other side. So click on the circle, click on the edge, come up, 4 millimeters. And we do the same thing for this one. Circle, edge, 4 millimeters, and circle, edge, 4 millimeters. Alright, so that sketch is complete. We're going to finish the sketch. Now, let's use our extrude tool, and we're going to have to do one at a time for this one as well. So 1.6 for the height. Make sure operation is set to join. Say OK. Turn that sketch back on. So again, over here in my browser, come down to sketches, click the arrow, turn the sketch back on, come to my extrude tool, click on the circle, do 1.6 millimeters, make sure operation is set to join, it usually will be, and say OK. Now we're going to get into, I'm going to hide those 2 sketches and close my sketch folder. I will also change my view style a little bit. If you come down here, there's a display settings, visual style. I want to do shaded with visible edges for now. Here's where we use the rectangular pattern tool. I will come here in your create menu, all the way down to here is pattern, rectangular pattern, and this window appears. Instead of objects, I want to change or make a pattern using features. Objects is selected, so I'll click on that one. Now I need to select my axes for the pattern. I'm going to do this edge and this edge. Now, so this is useful for just a visual idea of what's going on. You can grab your arrow and pull it over, and we're going to change the quantity right here from 3 to 2. Perfect. We're going to change the distance to 8 millimeters because they're 8 millimeters on the center. I'm going to change the quantity for the second axis to 1. And I'm going to say OK. There we go. Now we have 2 tips on that Lego. We're going to do rectangular pattern again for this one. Create, pattern, rectangular pattern. It is still set to features. I will click that. Now I will select my axes. We're going to do this edge. And this edge, I will grab my arrow, pull it over, grab my other arrow, pull it down. Now this is going to be a 2x2 Lego. So we've got 2 at 8 millimeters and 2 at 8 millimeters. There we go. Now all 4 pieces are showing up there. Say OK. There they are. Finally, we need to shell these. That means I need to look at the bottom. I'll show you another way to get to the bottom. Here's my view cube. I can click and hold on it and drag it. And that will change my view. There we go. I will now shell these. Use modify. Shell command right there. We'll click the bottom and the bottom. This one, I don't mind selecting both of them because it should not join them at that point. So 1.6 is the wall thickness again. I will say OK. And we need bottom pegs in these. So if we were to put this Lego in there, we want it to stay in this corner and have the tip trapped in there. If we didn't put the bottom peg in, the Lego would be able to move around all over in there. So here we go. We need to create a sketch on the bottom of these parts. So I went up here to create sketch. I'll use the drop down as well, create sketch. Hover right there so it highlights. Click on the bottom. Now I'm going to use my line tool. I'm going to turn on construction lines, which is right here in your sketch palette. It's going to zoom in, and here, see how that snapped to the center of the circle? Right there. Boom. And I want to snap to this center as well. There we go. Now I'm going to click this check mark to finish my line. Turn off my construction line. Select my circle. Come to the middle of the line. Oh, and there. See the triangle right next to my cursor? That means I'm at the middle of that line. Now this is 6.4, I think. Yes. So we're going to try that. Now it's been a couple days since I fiddled with this, so I'm actually going to come here, and there we go. Yes, 6.4 is the correct dimension. Since these are on the same plane, I can use the same sketch. Just means I'll have to turn it back on after I extrude my first part. So I'm still in that same sketch. Select my line tool, turn on my construction line, snap to the center point like that, snap to the center point like that. Now click the check mark to finish my line, shut off construction line, create a circle. Triangle shows that the circle is centered. Now this one we're going to do 3.2. And I am also going to just do a quick sketch, make sure from this point to here is 4.8 or more, and it is exactly 4.8. So I'm going to hit escape to cancel the circle, turn off my construction line, finish the sketch. Now that I've zoomed out a little, I can change this view a smidgen. I will select my extrude tool again. I'm going to click the circle I just created, and then this bottom flat edge. Now that peg or post is flush with the bottom of my Lego, operation is set to join. I say OK. Now my other sketch disappeared. So I come over here to my browser, do my sketch drop down, go to the last sketch I made, and select my extrude tool, click on my new circle, very bottom edge, make sure it's set to join, say OK. And let's shell this bottom post or peg. And go here, select the shell command, click that bottom edge. I'll make this 1 millimeter thick and say OK. There we go. Now I have all my Legos and my random parts. I want to change the appearance though and shut off the sketch. So to change appearance, you can either press A on your keyboard and this window will pop up, or you can go to Modify and Appearance, which is right here, and I click that. I want each of these Legos to be different. Oh, I don't think I've looked at liquid yet though. So we'll put one there. Ooh, we'll put one there. Oh. And let's make this one a mirror. That doesn't look very mirror-y. That's okay. We'll make it paint then. Glossy paint. And let's make that one blue. Let's make this one green. Let's keep that one how it is. So there's the design and creation stuff. The other thing that's included in the assignment is make sure to save your file. And when you do it, make sure you are in the correct project, which is LMS Computer Literacy, and your student folder, so your name right here. I'll call this 01 to 03 and save it. And the very last thing we're gonna do is leave a comment. I completed all 3 assignments in here, period, and post it. There we go. That's all 3 of the assignments. I know I went through it quickly, and we will, proceed with the Lego project as soon as we get back from, or the whale project as soon as we get back from spring break. All right, thank you guys, and bye.